Good morning, dear learners. Welcome to the counseling session of Indira Gandhi National Open University. I am Edwin Moses, academic counselor, joining from IGNOU Study Center 2504, Bishop Weaver College, Tiruchirappalli. So we are dealing with BEGLA 136, English at the workplace, right? In the last session, we discussed the importance of English at the workplace, and we have also discussed about communication, how communication is the lifeblood of any organization, and how English language is very important because it is a business language, right? And what are the words, and in what context, how you should use all the words related to business and work. So all these things we were dealing in English at the workplace. Let me share my screen. If you can see it, please comment in the chat box if it is clear. Yes. I hope it is visible. Right. Right. We discussed about reading comprehension, vocabulary, listening, speaking, writing, and grammar on all those exercises. And you have to practice the exercises in the textbook, right? So that will give you a good understanding of the lessons in the course material. And we did these personal and social and professional qualities, right, of a worker, of an employee, and what are the words you associate with personal qualities, and what are the words you associate with social qualities, and the words with professional qualities. Okay, you just matched it, right? Team leadership, approachable, able to meet deadlines, punctuality, conflict resolution, inspiring others, motivator. All these are professional qualities in an employee. So we discussed about portfolio making, right? And curriculum vitae, and the difference between resume and curriculum vitae. So coming to etiquette. Okay, what is etiquette? So etiquette is a word that is important in the business field, especially in a workplace, right? The etiquettes to be followed in a workplace. So Oxford Dictionary defines etiquette as the customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular professional group. So the code of behavior and how you behave in society in general, particularly with regard to a workplace, how you have to behave professionally, okay? The professional behavior, the code of conduct, okay? How you should professionally appear in at workplace. All these things will be part of etiquette. That is etiquette, the customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular professional group, right? So adhering to a behavior code at workplace helps to create a work environment that is conducive to positive interaction among employees. This makes for a productive, efficient workforce, right? Professional appearance. And regarding the history of some of the gestures and behaviors, the polite greeting usually to women in Western countries, right? Lifting of hat, right? That's part of an etiquette, okay, in the British society, right? And in Western countries, especially because hundreds of years ago, the knights used to wear hats and they used to raise their hat, okay, to greet a lady, raise the visitors of the helmets so that their faces could be seen. Okay, so they will raise their hat for the for their face to be visible to others. And you know the history of handshake, right? Handshake is very common today, but there is a history behind it. Actually, it is usually they take out, maybe they show that they don't have a dagger or anything in their hand in order to show that people used to handshake, right? People handshake because long ago men held out their empty hand to show that they were not holding daggers or other weapons. So that is how this practice of handshake, okay, came in society. And today it is a very casual gesture, right? So before that, I just want to discuss more about this etiquette. What are the professional behaviors that you think employees should have, right? How you should dress, from the way you dress and the way you talk, everything should be professional, right? You should not use abusive language in a workplace, and you should wear good clothes, okay, formal clothes, full hand shirt or a coat with a tie, okay. All these things are part of the professional appearance. You should cut your nails, okay, and all these cleanliness, clean behavior, okay, clean and tidy, and don't wear informal clothes at workplace, right? All these things are part of the professional appearance, right? Any other thing can you add up to, maybe as you think of the professional appearance at workplace and the code of ethics, okay, to be followed, and the behavioral code of ethics, right? How you should talk to the person, your colleagues at workplace, right? And all those simple gestures and compliments, thank you, right? Appreciating your colleagues, using a professional language, all these things are part of etiquettes. And even there are while you dine or while you have food with your colleagues, the way you eat, right? Table etiquettes, we call it as table etiquettes. The way you use your fork, okay, or the spoon, it's all those are part of table etiquettes, right? And the food stuff in the plate should not fly, right? You have to be careful, and people used to take practice even eating in the Western style. In the southern areas, in southern India, we usually use our hand to eat, right, with the banana leaf, and right, mostly in southern states we use our hand. But when you are in a multicultural setup or working in a multinational company, right, you have to follow the Western code of ethics, right? And the way you eat with table etiquettes, right, and professional appearance. Anything you can add up to it? Add to these professional behavior and behavior codes. Table manners, good. Hey, Masankar, it is a respective manner, right? Anything else you can share with regard to etiquettes? And you also have email etiquettes, right? How you should email and what are the things you have. We will look up to it later. Anything more? Okay, we'll continue with understanding cultural differences, right? If you are working in a multinational company, right, you have people working from different places, different countries. If you take India, you have people from different states, right? And in a multinational company, you'll have people from different states and even from different countries. So, what you should do, you should have a multicultural understanding, okay. You should know about other people's cultures, their attitudes, their behavior, their gestures, okay. All these things you should be aware of in order to successfully mediate between themselves, between your colleagues and you, right? You have to be aware of those cultural differences, right? All simple things are there, okay, right? A person's culture, we'll see some examples how it differs and how we have to be sensitive and aware of other people's culture, right? So that you can successfully work in a multicultural setup. Interculture, we have so many areas in that. Intercultural communication, right? Multicultural setting, multicultural workplace, and that's another big area you can read through and get to know more about it. So you'll see some uh, examples regarding understanding cultural differences, right? A person's culture affects their managerial style, right? We need to understand other people's culture, but we should not try to adapt their practices, right? That understanding is important. Understanding is key, right? Try to understand their, be sensitive to other people's behaviors and gestures. It would be rude to talk to colleagues about their cultural practices, right? It is considered to be rude, right? Especially in the Western setup. Just because people do things differently from you does not mean that they are wrong, right? There, that may be a cultural practice, right? People sometimes, when you eat food in a banana leaf using your hands, people may think how dirty they are. A Westerner or a white man may think like that, right? And but it is our practice, right? We used to wash our hands and eat in a banana leaf. That is the southern style of eating, right? And these people from West cannot understand, a white man or a woman cannot understand this practice. Of course, nowadays they are coming here and adapting, and they are getting to know, right? People who come on tours, they get to eat in a banana leaf, and they get to learn about various cultures. So very few people do that, but somebody who does not know about Indian culture may think it is something uncivilized to eat with your hands, because they think that it is good and neat to eat with your fork and a spoon. Right? That is the kind of see differences. All these things you have to understand. So only if you know about uh, the uh, the art of eating, right, in India, right, only you will be able to understand about Indian culture and Indian people, right? Just because people do things differently from you does not mean that they are wrong. See, there are some examples. Koreans think it is disrespectful to give somebody something with one hand. They usually give things with both the hands, right? Such practices you should be aware of. Japanese people bow in greeting, right? They just don't do a handshake, or they just bow and greet. That is their way of greeting people. So in the Middle East, people lightly hug each other in greeting. Kissing on the cheek is a formal way of greeting in France, right? Here in India, you cannot do that, right? That's a way of this. Maybe that's quite disrespectful, right? Even you have to be careful while you greet in a certain way, right? In different setups to different people. In Britain, it is accepted for friends to ask each other their personal questions, right? If a man addresses his boss by his first name, right, chances are they are in USA. Usually we don't do that. We always address, okay, with a second name. It's such differences you have to be aware of, and there are so many things you can Google it and see the various cultural differences, okay, that you can be aware of, and maybe some case studies too. Right? Can you? This is articles. Can you just fill it? Try to fill it. You can comment in the chat box. Can you try to answer? You can comment in the chat box. So what are articles? A and the, okay. Using the articles, can you fill these blanks? I had dash strange dream last night. Try to comment in the chat box. I had dash strange dream, or you can just talk to me and tell. Fill with the appropriate words. Right, that's good. An alien coming up with answers. Right. I had a strange dream last night. I saw myself sailing in a boat in the middle of,
The book.
yeah, a boat. in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, right? Here it is an alien landed on my boat. It made a strange sound and
What,
my boat
what
began to
same
fly,
song?
right? I think we were moving towards the moon when suddenly,
The moon.
yes, good. And okay, here it is, vowel
An
sound.
unusual looking angle.
And yeah, yeah, and unusual. I fell with a thump, not into the ocean, but into the onto the floor. Right, that's good. That's good. Right. So we will go on to the next part. So you need not concentrate much. Maybe you are studying grammar from your uh, school, right? So what I want to say is, of course, you have to read grammar rules. You have to study grammar, but more than studying it consciously, if you develop your reading habit, if you read a lot, and if you indulge yourself in listening, speaking, reading, writing every day, and especially reading, that will improve your grammar, your style of writing. Okay, unconsciously you will acquire grammar. So the more you expose yourself to correct sentence patterns, okay, the indulge in English language, if the more you read, okay, the more you will acquire grammar naturally, right? And you need not separately, okay, you can study, you have to study, but that will not help you much. The more you expose yourself to reading correct sentences, the more you will acquire grammar, okay, naturally. So you won't think about the grammar rules when you're writing, right? It comes naturally for us. Okay, so uh, try to do a lot of reading, right? So I think I have spoken to you about that in the beginning. So understanding customers. So there are different types of customers, right? A salesperson would know how he will come face to face with different types of customers, and it is an art, okay, of handling customers. Handling customers is a art. So we will see the various types of customers: indecisive customers, reluctant customers, demanding customers, rude and inconsiderate customers, talkative customers, passive customers, dissatisfied customers, irate customers, right? I will explain one by one. I'll move on to indecisive customers. You can see from the word itself, you can see customers who come to a shop or they visit different shops. They don't buy easily, right? They have this indecisive attitude. They don't decide things immediately, right? They think a lot. Okay, they go shop by shop, and we have to be aware of these types of customers, right? How do you make them buy, right? That's the art of doing it. Right, can you see this? Is it visible? Can you see a picture of this
Yes, sir.
old man and all those explanations there? Yes, indecisive customers, right? These are people who will spend hours deciding what to buy, right? They will think, go on thinking. They want to know more, but they are difficult to convince. They will not convince that this is the best product, this is a good product. They will find excuses to avoid making a decision, right? Maybe they will refer to many shops to check the prices or the quality or all those things. They cannot decide that They will not decide to buy immediately, right? Indecisive, they cannot decide. So that's quite complex and challenging to handle this kind of customer. The way to deal with them is how you have to deal with them, right? There are some tips for you. It would be to use a firm tone of voice while emphasizing the qualities of the brand, right, you're offering, and try to explain, okay, the qualities of the brand, right? They are, if they have come to buy a cloth, okay, tell about the product, tell about the cloth, the quality, whether it's a good cotton or whether it's a branded one, something like that. You should try to convince the customer to buy your product, whatever the product may be, right? Ask a lot of open-ended questions to know what the customer is thinking, right? What are their needs, so that they can offer the best possible solutions. So convincing this indecisive customer is important. Reluctant customers, right? These, unlike the above, will listen to everything, but they are unwilling to make the final decision, right? We have varieties of people. If you come across, right, it will be a kind of joke, and you will enjoy the characters, and it's interesting to understand human nature, right? And in literature, that's what we do, right? Mostly a psychoanalysis of all the characters, right? It's interesting that each character is of different type, and are trying to understand and convince that character is something that is important. As a salesperson, as a, okay, uh, marketing agent, or whoever it may be, as a manager, whoever you are in your role, you have to satisfy your customer. Even if you are a bank manager, you have to satisfy your customer, right? These, unlike the above, will listen to everything but are unwilling to make the final decisions, right? They will even stop from your approaching the final step of buying. Maybe they will come to the close of buying and they will just call off. This typical response would be, why don't I get back to you onto this maybe later? I don't have the time right now. They are reluctant to buy. So how you can approach them? You need to make them aware of the need to buy at the opportune time by drawing them attention to the extra benefits, right? Like we say, right? Adi Tallubadi, something like that, right? Or you have some discount, you give some discount for a season. So try to convince them by giving all those details of discount that is available only for a short period of time, and special features of the product or service without being aggressive, right? So try to convince demanding customers, and they are quite intimidating. The demanding customer will demand, okay, services from you, will demand about the product from you. They feel they need to be in control. Such customers may raise their voice, they find fault with everything and make unreasonable demands on you. They will push you to commit to a response of their choice. So whatever they think, they want to do like that and buy. Okay, they want satisfaction according to their expectations. The important thing is to stay calm. They will react, they will throw tantrums, they will be angry, but you should stay calm. Customer is important for you. Whatever the customer, maybe he will complain, okay, he will be angry, okay. For an employee, the customer is important, right? For maybe my dad has told many stories about that. He was a bank manager, and customer is important. Giving service to the customer is important. Maybe that customer will be unruly sometimes, right? They will not have the patience to stand in a queue. Sometimes they have to, the manager, or have to satisfy them, right? Or try to keep them calm, right? They will not understand the work setup and the workflow, how things are happening in the bank, right? And how you handle these customers. And for that, even they appointed a floor manager in order to look after the people who are waiting, right? In especially in private banks, if you see HDFC or ICICI, there will be a floor manager who will cater to your needs, okay? And they will maybe come to you and service you, right? They visit you, and but it's not possible in public sector banks where there are a large number of customers, right? And even they give you good hospitality, tea or a juice to drink, things like that. So demanding customers, do not what you can do, prepare to negotiate if you are thoroughly familiar with your organization's policies and procedures, but don't be too, okay, lenient. You have to be stern and confident in telling about the organization's policies and procedures, right? You cannot be every time, okay, uh, explaining things. You have to explain, but it need not be as per the demand of the customer always, right? But you have to stick to your policies and procedures. You should know that, right? If a customer demands a discount, okay, for a product, or price for a product, if he is asking less than, okay, the actual rate, maybe the actual cost of the product, it's not possible to give. At least you have to give a certain amount of profit, okay, you have to sell with a certain amount of profit, a percentage of profit. So such things, there are various things like that, okay, policies and rules and regulations. You have to be very careful in dealing with customers like that. Demanding customers, rude and inconsiderate customers, whatever you say, they will be always angry. And maybe trying to, still you should be calm and peaceful. You have to address to them politely, right? They'll be so angry, they will go out of their way to be offensive. Even they will raise their voice, demand to see or speak to the superior, use abusive language, right? They outwardly they seem confident and self-assured, but they are insecure and defensive. They wanted to maybe show their might in buying products and things like that. Keep an even tone of voice if they interrupt you while you are dealing with another customer. Keep direct eye contact. Talkative customers are easy to handle, but they are too friendly, okay? So stick to your point and stick to what you want to do. What is your purpose? Is to sell the product. What is your aim? Is to sell the product. So try to sell it, okay? While you find conversation slipping us back on track, questions, and try to relate with the product and do it in a friendly way to friendly people. Passive customers, they don't do anything, and these customers listen patiently, but they do not voice their opinions. They'll be thinking so many things in their head, right? They won't respond to you properly. They just say just the okay. They don't speak much. To understand the requirement, you need to get them involved in the conversation and assist them to come out their own query or problem. They will not express what they are thinking, right? So see the varied varieties of customers, the satisfied customers. Whatever you do, they will be always dissatisfied. You can never satisfy them. Such kind of customers are there. You often encounter such dissatisfied customers. Right? No matter what you try to do them, they will complain. They feel annoyed and victimized. Right? They feel their situation is the most important in the world, and these customers, they are likely to tell the maximum number of people that they are unhappy with the way they do business, right? You have to empathize with them. You cannot do anything about it. Ask questions and try to give response to them. Acknowledge that you have understood the problem correctly, and then take appropriate action to suit their needs. Irate customers, again, angry, always angry for various reasons, and they may be unhappy with the service, or they feel they have been cheated, right? And because maybe they would have had some bad experiences with some product or service, and they would always see the other products and services with a eye of doubt, and they think that it's not good, right? When they really want to uh, take notice of them, give them special attention and appreciates the reason for their anger, and explain some possible solutions to them. So that is what I want to show you, some language that you should use, positive language. Always be positive. Even if the customer is negative, try to be positive. Always be positive. And the language you use matters. That is why I told you the language of business, right? The words you choose should be the right positive words, even if it is a negative situation, or even if you can't do anything for the customer at a certain point. You should speak as if you are doing something, right? See, I'll give you some examples for it. Avoid using phrases such as these, as those things that fuel emotions. Why didn't you do that? You should have. You never. You always. That is something. Nothing I can do. Our policy does not permit. You are going to say the same thing, but in a different note, okay, in a different way. You don't realize it. Calm down. I've got some problem. You are not only the one in a hurry. I've already told you 100 times. All these things are okay. You can speak a lot like this, okay, in a negative way, if you are angry or if you are not patient. But try to use phrases such as these positive phrases, right? May I explain to you, sir, madam? Sir, what would you like to, okay, do? What would you like me to do? Here, what I can do. So you have to project a positive language as well as your body language, right? I'll be happy to check, right? Don't say I can't check now or I won't check. I'll be happy to check, something like that, right? Would you be interested in saying it, right? I understand what you're saying. So you give a feeling that you understand the customer, right? It is important. So when you stress something related to you or the company, it is important that we have to do like this, sir. So I'll be happy to do something positive like that. In order for me to assist you better, can you please do this for us, right? If you want the customer to do something, if you want to for the customer to pay their dues properly, right? In order to for me to assist you better, please pay this dues on time, sir, something like that. What would you suggest? How would you suggest you deal? Or when you're suggesting, don't be rude. May I suggest this, sir, as an option, right? I'll show a video how an employee makes a complaint, uh, a call, okay, a call to the customer, right? And a complaint call, how he is handling it, right? So before that, a short video on the types of customer, right? Just a interesting one. Maybe it's not a kind of a formal thing, a quite informal way. You can understand a little from this video, right? Right. Can you see this YouTube? Is it visible? Yeah. Is the audio clear? Is the audio and video clear? Right. If you have any trouble,
No,
please let me know in the
it's
chat
not
box or
audible,
text.
sir.
Not audible. Not audible. Wait, just a minute. Now is it audible?
No, sir.
Huh?
No,
Kekda?
sir. No,
No?
sir.
No, just
Yes.
the video is there. Huh? Okay. Let me check. Okay. I have not shared it in a laptop. I think I'm finding it some trouble here. Now, can you hear? Is it audible now?
No, sir. No, sir.
கேக்குதா? No, it's not audible.
No, sir.
No, sir, not audible.
இந்த இதை எப்படி சவுண்ட் வர வைக்கிறது தெரியுமா? யூடியூப்ல இருந்து just hold on a minute. Maybe I'll try. எப்படி பார்ப்போம் அது? There is some trouble and it's quite difficult to do it in a laptop. So maybe I'll share the link later in the WhatsApp group, or you can watch it. I'll share the link here also. All the 3 videos, you can watch it later. Okay. If you are in my group, I'll post it there. I'll also post the links here in the chat box. You can watch later. Okay, you can watch these videos later. I'll also share in the WhatsApp group. Right. So I'll move on to presentation skills again here. Uh, okay, you can watch that later. And with presentation skills and email, I'll conclude, right? So preparation, practice, and PowerPoint, right? These are the 3 important part of the presentation skills, right? You have to prepare well, prepare the content, okay? You have to be prepared for what you're going to speak or what you're going to present. Be prepared with the content of what you're going to do. Just practice it, right? At least you need some time to prepare things, right? So preparation, practice, and PowerPoint are essential for a good presentation. So any presentation for that matter, you have to give a talk maybe in a meeting, or you have to present things in a group. What are the things that you need to remember? First impression, right? The first line you speak, or you can begin with a quote, right? Or you can begin with a interesting statement or an everyday example, right? Something that strikes the chord with the audience. Good posture, good body language, be positive, right? Try to project a positive bodily language even if the situation is tensed or negative, right? See the person and speak. Have eye contact, okay? Have good eye contact, not staring the person, but have a good amount of eye contact. And don't maybe without any break, don't stare that person, okay? That will be intimidating. Have a little bit of break now and then, and have a good amount of eye contact with the person you're speaking. And your voice, the way you speak, with the intonation, pitch, okay? Don't have a monotonous voice. Be interesting and enthused, right? Whatever you're going to speak, you have to be first interested in what you're going to speak, right? Only then you should be, you'll be able to deliver that, okay, positively, in an interesting manner, right? And the human element, that is that you have to connect with everyday examples with your own life, right? Something, a humor, a sense of humor, that is very essential, right, for any presentation. That will give a boost to the audience, and that will be interesting for them to hear. Okay. Finally, while you end your presentation, also it is important that you just give a recap of all your points that you have discussed, right? And try to maybe you can be emotional, a little bit of emotion, right? A friendly manner, okay, a friendly gesture, and a little bit of emotion, you when you try to relate with your life, okay, or the everyday events and examples, that will have an effect on the audience, right? So remember, first impression, good posture, eye contact, voice, be interested, enthused, human element, and the connect in the topic, okay, bring somewhere. Okay, the stages in a presentation, the basic things, right? uh, Beginning, body of the presentation, and conclusion. You have a beginning, the body of the presentation, and the conclusion. And I told you about slides also. Maybe I was discussing with another class the same thing of the presentation, the stages of presentation. And there is little more about presentation here, right? Captured interest, right? That is what, be enthused and interested. Capture the interest of the audience with a sense of humor, with a statement, with a quote, right? With a story. That is why great people used to speak with anecdotes, right? A good orator used to speak with anecdotes, right? Giving a reference to historical events, giving reference to stories, okay, stories from religious texts, right? There are many stories you can quote from any religious text, right? You can quote a story from Bhagavad Gita or Ramayana, right? Okay, something related to the situation, and you are trying to quote a story that is known to everybody, right? Some mythological stories, right? Stories from the Bible, or stories from any books, or even from historical tales, or like Panchatantra tales, right? You have stories for children from Panchatantra tales, right? Those maybe things will add humor and interesting, will make your presentation interesting. And even people quote Shakespeare for management, right? Learning management from Shakespeare, right? You can quote Shakespeare. You see the kind of interrelation between subjects, right? Literature as, okay, literature has so many things that you can link with, okay, with so many situations and so many fields. Like likewise, you can quote from many subjects, many books, famous books, and many historical incidents, right? Keep that in mind. Timing, it should not be too lengthy or too short, okay? A right timing of the speech. Signposting, right? Signposting is the way you guide the audience, right? I'm saying that I'll be giving an outline of the topic. So what are the things that we will be dealing with? This is signpost, right? Guiding the audience till the time of the question hour, right? Now I have completed. Maybe I'm asking, I'm inviting questions from the audience, right? Some like likewise, when you guide the audience, that is called as signposting. Body language, you know that we have already discussed about positive body language, right? Confidence, visuals, right? Show a picture or in a presentation or show a video that will appeal to the audience. So for body language, I have told you about positive, right? Body language, the way you sit and stand and look, everything matters, right? If you fold your hands, then you're saying you're not open to ideas. You're closed. You're not open to the person who is speaking in front of you. So have a positive. There are many like that, right? Many. If you have a tight lips, then you are angry, right? And observe the body language of people around you and try to act accordingly, right? That is very important. That's very important. And in a workplace, especially when you are conversing with your boss or colleagues, right? Try to observe their body language. That will give the right, okay, message to you. Even if they are hiding something, body language will reveal the truth. Most probably, body language, you cannot fake body language, right? It is possible to project a good positive body language, but That is why you should be in a positive mindset always to project a good body language. But most of the time, your body language will show what you're thinking, what you're trying to convey. So that is why when we are discussing about body language, I told you more than 80% of what is communicating is through body language. Only 20 to 30% is through our voice, right? Vocal cords and the way you put it, right? More than 80% is your body language and how you say it matters. Okay. So email, you know that I wanted to show a video regarding email etiquettes, right? I'll just explain a little bit and then stop with that. I'll post this link also to you so that you can watch it later. So in email etiquettes, you should have a right. So similar to letter writing, salutation, uh, dear sir, or hi, maybe in an informal context, dear sir and madam or madam. Subject, you should have the subject, right? In email, people sometimes they mail without a subject. That's not proper. Have a subject line, what you're going to talk about in the email, right? And similar to letter writing, all the okay things keep in mind, okay, regarding the email. Okay, you can also send CC and BC carbon copy and blind carbon copy. You can send for other people also, right? Then such things are there in the video. It is quite uh, a visual representation is there. You can watch that, and you can also add signature, okay, giving you a color for your name and for your address. All those things you can do in an email, a personalized email, right? And keep it short and simple, and the language you use, right? Informal or formal according to the context. Okay, whatever we have discussed with regard to letter writing applies to email, but make it short, not too lengthy, right? Not too lengthy. It's better to give it as a report or a letter if you are writing a too lengthy emails, right? So emails will reach the other person instantly. That is the benefit of email, right? So I think most of you are using email. It's not necessary to explain much about it. Hope you understand and watch these videos. That will help you. If you have any questions, you can comment in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer. So for the next 5 minutes, I'll invite questions. If you have anything regarding your assignments or regarding the course, you can ask me. If you have any questions, you can comment in the chat box. I'll wind up by 12:30. Just 5 minutes more. If you have anything to ask, uh, you can. Next class, I don't think so, but maybe in the next semester only. I think this is the last class for this academic year for July 2020. Maybe in the next session from July to December 2021 year, maybe a few classes will be scheduled. So as per the instruction we got from Madurai Regional Center, we conduct two classes. We should schedule two classes per course. So this is the second class. So maybe the next class will be for the next paper. For this paper, this is the last class, right? Maybe for the other papers, you will be having classes in the next session. Maybe they will schedule two classes in the next session, right? So you have a lot of videos regarding these courses, or you can learn a lot by googling and getting to know about these topics, right? All are general topics, and maybe I will share, I will help you to learn. uh, I think most of you are there in the WhatsApp group. I think I have shared my number already. Most of you are there. So if you have anything, you can ask there, or you can message me. so that I'll be able to guide you, right, regarding the assignments and other things.
Sir, may I
Yes,
ask you?
pa. Yeah.
Sir, I am a BCom G student, sir,
Okay.
and my class is actually my another counseling schedules. Mail came from RC. Uh,
Okay.
they have to. There is a combined class with the Delhi 3 Center.
Okay.
But they teach only in Hindi. We couldn't
Okay.
understand properly. But I know a
The,
little Hindi, but we couldn't
right, right,
understand
right.
properly, sir.
You're
It is
talking
a
about
very
BCom, your major papers, sir.
yes, sir, major paper.
Okay,
So,
okay.
how could we get the counseling, sir, in this major paper?
Mm, have they scheduled any classes for the major papers in regional center Madurai or Chennai? Did you check the
No, sir, no, sir. There is no
schedules there?
classes.
There is
There
no
is no
schedule for.
classes, sir.
I think maybe the number of students may be less. It depends on the number of students. They sometimes they connect you with other centers. That's the problem. If it is less than 10, they will not conduct in the particular regional center. They will connect you with the other regional centers. See, now it is likewise, it is a combined session with RC Madurai and Chennai. So, likewise,
Okay.
maybe let's see, you can contact the regional center.
Okay,
Maybe
sir.
they'll be able to help you, ma baby. Some classes, if
I
possible,
just
they will try to organize, right?
sorry to interrupt, sir. I
Yeah.
just asking some doubt to them, but they
Mm.
said this is not a lecture class. This is a only a counseling class, so we are not here to teach you. அப்படின்னு
Okay,
சொல்லிட்டாங்க sir.
okay, fine, fine. Don't mind that. Maybe you
அதுதான்
try to listen to many lectures that are available online, right?
yes, sir.
Maybe, if possible, to which study center are you connected?
The bishop, sir.
Bishop Weaver, right, right. Maybe you contact me. I will try to connect you with a teacher here. We will try to help you. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
There is
sir.
a
Thank you,
teacher from
thank
the
you.
Department of Commerce who is
Yes, sir.
handling IGNOU evaluation and other things. Maybe she'll
Yes,
be
sir.
able to help you. I will contact her and let you know. Okay. I will
Yes, sir.
try to share her
Thank you so much,
contact.
sir. It's
Okay.
very useful to me, sir. Thank you,
Yes, you
sir.
contact me. I'll let you know. Hmm?
Yes, sir. Sure,
Okay.
sir. Sure.
Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else who would like to? So, because you know that, right? IGNOU is an open distance learning, and most of the learning happens by self learning, right? And they used to conduct 10 to 20% of classes alone, but even that depends on the number of students who turn up. If it is less than 10, usually classes are not scheduled. Anyhow, we will try to help you to connect with academic counselors that are available, and you can meet them and try to clarify your doubts or contact them, right? Anyhow, there will be a contact point. Don't worry about that. And
Yes,
also make use of the resources that are available in IGNOU. uh, YouTube videos, lectures related to your subject areas are available in IGNOU website and YouTube videos. Okay, you can make use of that. Also, you have this Gayan Darshan and Gayan Vani radio and online live telecast. Right, you're there. You can listen to a lot of lectures there. So, anyhow, we'll be try to contact the academic counselor in the particular study center. They'll be able to help you clarify your doubts. Maybe if you have anything to ask or anything more to ask personally with regarding to your subjects. In the lecture mode, you cannot expect everything, right, to happen, and it's not possible to clarify much of the doubts. Of course, if we meet face to face, then it will be more comfortable for us. Um, okay, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. I hope we can end the meeting. Right.